it's been pointed out, 2/3 or more of the comments were based on the fact that you thought I put town council after my name, and it has been proved that I did not do that. So 2/3 of what you all had to say was based on a fault. I find it really disingenuous or unfortunately naive, again, to believe I would have any influence over planning and zoning that has a 4-member majority. I don't even have any influence over the 6 of you. So to think that I would be speaking for you, I think that's really, really naive. Again, someone mentioned section 22 of the charter. Ms. Lapellis, you should know better than anyone else what that means. Again, I feel stating the town council's person's duty is to be with the citizens in Monroe and not private interests, such as AMDAC. I have every right to believe, and as if you've ever watched the news or read the paper, many councilmen, many state representatives, many people speak out against projects that are happening in their town. That will not cause any legal ramifications. No one has ever mentioned something specifically that would put them in a negative legal position. And they have the right at that point to resubmit their application just as they did now. So, again, there's also correspondence in the ZIP OI between Mr. Vavrick and talking to the attorneys for AMDAC. Also, there's a letter from Mr. Zinni. I believe there was some discussion about the word we, but Mr. Zinni to Mr. Vavrick saying, we need to hire a land use attorney regarding this project, ASAP. It's in this FOI. So I guess that's who the we is. What troubles me most is the timeline of this desperately needed speech. Approximately 2 weeks ago, at 2 p.m., I informed Mrs. Lapellis that due to my parents' consecutive hospitalizations and other family issues, that I would not be here. She replied to me, no problem, at 2:10. At 2:50, Elizabeth Edgerton sent out an email rallying the troops to come and defend against Mrs. Mount's verbal diarrhea. It's in the email, and I have it. That is what my defense of the citizens of Monroe were called, verbal diarrhea. And when the former town chair of the Republican Town Council sends out emails like this, I think you can know that it's squarely politics. The message that these actions that were sent to the public, the message that was sent to the public is even more disconcerting than the lies and the attempts to discredit me. Who wants to sacrifice themselves, their family, and to serve the people when this happens? Everybody's always saying it's just politics, but this wasn't politics. It was dirty, underhanded, power brokering, trying to throw mud, hoping that people won't remember the underlying issue. This type of attack reinforces people's anger and distrust. Politics refers to the system of how we govern. Politics involves debating 2 sides of an issue, and it's a very necessary element of democracy. In an article where I compared blogging to early letters of Ben Franklin and suggested that it's okay to be anonymous when discussing issues and not when you're hurling personal insults. It also allows some people to speak out on issues without being bullied. And I know about being bullied. Ever since I came to politics 3 years ago, I have had unspeakable things happen to me, and I haven't even mentioned them. When I was first running for state representative, Beverly Hovey's husband came into my headquarters, threatened my volunteers, and trashed my literature. It's in a police report. I never spent a lot of time on that. I've been bullied. Mr. Vavrick has gone around town council asking people to shoot me. I asked him to please stop. In this day and age, going around asking people to shoot someone is not a good idea. All right. Maybe I also have a right to my opinions. Opinions are never slanderous, and questioning leaders is not slanderous. It's a mandatory element of discussion. And if we didn't had that, I would have never spoken out. You have a picture on that wall that says people are allowed to speak their minds. And that's the lesson we should be teaching our children about civic involvement, that their voices do matter, that they should voice their opinions, not to fear speaking up because of undue reprisal. What's really the saddest thing, and this is not disingenuous, is that before I came to be involved in Monroe politics, I belonged to the same social club, Miss Lapellis, and we were very socially quite friendly. Mr. Unger was actually the deacon at my church. I had dinner at his home, and he came to picnics at mine. During my tenure on council, Mr. Gutman offered to make my family dinner, but I had 2 aunts and an uncle who died in the same week, and I appreciated that. Mr. Petropa and I occasionally agreed, but when we didn't, we were civil and cordial, and we always knew where the other stood prior to taking our seats. I've made my positions clear. Otherwise, I wouldn't have upset so many people. But that's the thing. You may not agree with what I have to say, but you know I say what I mean and I stand by it. If I was mistaken or changed my position, I clearly stated my reasons for doing so. By the way, Chris, I don't think the garbage operation is analogous to a Big Mac, but we can talk about that later. The point is that these things that were said not only were deeply distressing, but they kicked me when I was down. They took advantage of me because they knew I was going to be absent. No matter how much I disagreed with any of you, I would have never done that to any of you. I talk to your face, and you know that. You may think I've strayed off the point, but I assure you I have not. I want what is best for our town. And I thank you, Mrs. Stedman. You and I have not agreed many times, but I thank you for your comments. It's not in the best interest of the people in Monroe for one official to try to silence another official by smearing them. It only reaps fear and thoughts by people, will I be next? I've said this over and over, and I'll keep saying it even if it annoys people. Thomas Jefferson said, when the government fears people, you get democracy. When people fear the government, you get tyranny. I sense a lot of fear in the government. I vote for democracy. I ask you to stop this unfounded, repeated bullying and work with me when you can. And if you don't agree with me, state your reasons, leave out the personal attacks, and move on. I'm quite happy to debate on the issues. I've tried always to keep my comments confined to the issues, and I don't speak without having proof for my actions. So again, I would like this to be put behind us. I would like to start an era of new cooperation. I admit I'm guilty